Meet the 90-year-old gamer grandmother.
びっくりすると思いますけどね。
Yeah, but is Hamako good at the games? Is she esports ready?
ね
Her streams must be the most wholesome thing on the planet. I have some big news! I've signed with Cloud9.
こんにちは。
She's already looking better than Darkside Phil. God, I already know if she streamed on Twitch, there'd be so many fucking Redditors at backseat gaming her like, Jesus! Aim for the fucking head, Hamako! What the fuck is this? You'll never make it pro! Follow my guide on GameFAQs.
危ない。
Obi-Wan's internal treasures.
I'm not like the biggest Star Wars geek, but this is pretty fucking cool. This is definitely just George Lucas in disguise.
I won't let anybody near that with a baseball bat or Duro's hands that are still.
That's the actual actor's hands.
Somehow
Cut off his hands and put them in his closet. This has to be like a $10 million collection. And this is a used condom by Obi-Wan, yeah.
A toast to the creator, George Lucas. He's in his R2-D2
This is some of the most obscure shit ever.
So this was a model kit. And then
This was one of the extras on the set. I cryogenically froze him.
Barbie dolls, a flip phone.
This man genuinely has everything Star Wars related.
Many Wookiees died to bring you this cell phone case.
I met a man who walked by Star Wars filming set one time, and this is his shirt that I stole from him.
R2 and C-3PO. My barrel of hazardous waste.
What the fuck?
It's the Dianoga.
Not even George Lucas knows what the Dianoga is.
Go back to your trash pit. People have made figures of me and sent them to me over the years.
What?
Perhaps the strangest being Steve is Yoda.
This guy's got his own fucking Star Wars line.
So I guess that means something. Cream of Jawa soup.
But I want to see more of the Steve lore. I see like 1,000 Steve action figures.
Rubik's Cube.
Bro, there's a fucking Steve, I don't even know what this is. It's like a little doll. It's too small to be a sex doll. It's not big enough to be like a statue. He has a literal shelf of Steve Star Wars. Jedi Steve. Steve and George.
Darth Vader's hand and the Wampa arm.
You have to be the only man in the world that bought that.
Ann Newman and I love Christopher Lee, James Earl Jones.
That Christopher Lee one's got to be worth a fucking ton.
Chainsaw and chisel.
Why does C-3PO have nipples?
This is the treasure room.
You got scammed. That's not.
I
don't remember C-3PO having nipples.
Of.
Oh my god. Where does this guy live?
Welcome to the hall of the Tantive
Camera crew comes out and it's like an actual fucking starship.
You don't need to see my identification.
He's got a whole choreography plan for this.
What about the guests?
Oh, these aren't the guests you're looking for.
These aren't the guests we're looking for.
We can continue on our tour.
We can let them through now.
Is this from like Universal Studios?
Move along.
Jesus Christ.
Welcome to the expansion. A Star Wars celebration for Make-A-Wish. And then these are mostly custom-made helmets.
Then how did you end up with it?
On loan from a friend of ours.
You fucking stole them? Give me that. It's going to my collection.
As well as skateboard.
No, like this collection is so fucking
Jawa
impressive.
Sandcrawler.
Like even if you hate Star Wars, you can't help but be like, wow.
Let's see if we can't figure out
cool.
what this is.
Like this is sod and panty central.
1/4 scale.
That is a good point.
Suit.
I actually have something he doesn't have. I haven't seen a Watto statue.
For a stormtrooper.
How much do you think I could hold that for ransom over him? There's only a couple of those left, and I have one.
Figure. It's a brilliantly painted piece.
I really hope I don't see one. I'm gonna try and contact him and be like, bro, I got what you need.
Hours of work.
I didn't see a Watto statue. Your collection's not complete.
Was from. I was.
He's got to be blackmailing George Lucas or something.
For Star Wars Celebration.
How could you afford all this? This is easily north of $10 million for just like a couple of these rooms.
From the Vader project.
Star Wars shit is so expensive. I feel like I could at least grease $50K for my Watto statue to this guy. Maybe light a fire like, holy fuck. He's right, I don't have any Watto memorabilia. Oh my god, he goes into a fucking crisis, flips over his pinball machines. I need it! I need it! Again, I'm not even a Star Wars fan. It was just such a good deal on that statue, I couldn't pass it up. Okay, so I'm having the hardest fucking time moving Watto. Instead, I'll just pull up a picture. It is a... So I moved it into a different room because I didn't like the space it took up here. And I ended up putting like a couple of pieces of furniture in front of him because I thought it looked cool, like when you'd sit on the couch that I put there, you'd have like Watto's nutsack over you. I thought that was like kind of cool. So I have to move the couch, and the Watto himself weighs like 120 pounds, which is a lot to just kind of dead carry over here. And it's kind of just a fucking hassle. What do you mean weak? That's just a lot of work for a fucking 1 second fucking flash of Watto. And I didn't see this in his collection. What do you mean he has it? I didn't see it, and we saw his whole collection.
This is blue sticks with an
Yeah, I mean, I don't see it. I really feel like, if any of you can get in touch with him, if you're like his friend, ask him if he wants a Watto statue. Also, I didn't pay anywhere near this price. There's a dude at Comic-Con, like 3 years ago, who was selling Watto statue every single year for the last, like, 15 or 20 years. He got it when it came out, expecting Watto to be, like, a really big figure. Like, a very powerful figure in the Star Wars universe. But obviously, you know what happened. He turns into just a useless character. No one cares about him. So he could never sell it. And it just so happens he brought it back that year, and that was like the first year I'd ever gone to any like megacons or anything. And I asked him, I was just like, hey, how much is that Watto statue? Just for the sake of conversation, because Andrew or someone was buying shit from him. He was like, bro, I'm just trying to get rid of it. I'll give it away for $100. And I was like, 100? Are you out of your mind? That's way too much. I'll give you like $80 for it. He was like, thank God. It was good haggling from me. And now look at the value. See? That's big brain schemes. And then Andrew carried it to my car. Because that shit was heavy as a motherfucker. Deadlifting that in such an awkward angle, hated it. So yeah, if that guy does want it, I'm willing to part for like 10 grand. 10 grand and maybe a tour through his mansion of Star Wars memorabilia. Do I have a Darth Maul blow up? No, I don't. That is literally the only piece of Star Wars memorabilia I have, and it was just because it was such a good deal. I met the right seller who was just desperate to get rid of it, and I put on the big boy business pants, and I was like, I'll take it for less. It was like an episode of Shark Tank.